Good morning. Your regular macabre greeter is indisposed at the moment, so I have been called upon to be your host this month for a journey through the limitless boundaries of imagination. Our method of transportation into such a wondrous land shall be this, the Longbox of the Damned. Contained within, death, confusion, reflection, and terror. But for this midsummer's nightmare, the focus of such things will be on one subject, the Twilight Zone. We begin our journey in the pages of the longest-running comic book anthology ever made, 4-color comics. They covered material ranging from Donald Duck to Comanche to Peanuts. And for 2 issues of this series, they published the first Twilight Zone comics. And like the Twilight Zone itself, these early comics were anthologies, covering multiple short stories that, of course, shall be recounted for you all. The first of these is 4-color comics number 1173, the very first Twilight Zone comic ever made. The show's opening narration greets us on the cover page, that there is a 5th dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone. The very first story is that of Max Tiberius, dealer in curios of both a legitimate and quite illegitimate nature. In this, our first story, Specter of Youth. The ruins of Port Levant are frequently the target of looters, and such a crime has been committed recently, in particular of a marble statue. The police suspect the good Mr. Tiberius is involved, given his past in dealing with illegal merchandise. But of course, Mr. Tiberius is a salesman, so he sells a lie to the police while swindling the looter out of his part of the illicit dealings. But while Tiberius's activities have made him quite wealthy, he lacks the youthful energy to enjoy it. Soon, a sealed jar comes into his possession, and within is a strange golden liquid, described on the writing as the nectar of the gods. Indeed, after further investigation, it is revealed to be the secret of eternal youth. But when a mere mortal drinks from the cup of the gods, he should probably make sure it's not more than a sip. The time? Now. The place? A lonely icebound shore of the Great Lakes. While normally that would describe my situation, it is actually the location of our next tale, the Phantom Lighthouse. A father and son are on their way to an ice fishing trip on a lake, coming across a lost man who asks for a lantern. The father is continually mistrusting of the situation, especially when the man says that a big storm is coming, despite the sky being clear. And after some time on the lake, even all the other fishermen believe that something's a-brewing. But too late for our father and son, who lose their jeep to the icy water. And the son himself is almost lost to that same cold grave. They're rescued by the same mysterious man from before at a nearby lighthouse, who rows them back to the mainland despite the storm crashing around them. However, after taking his son to the hospital, the father learns that that lighthouse stands no longer, just a set of ruins on the shore, and a lantern given in kindness by a young boy, left beside said ruins. Enter one Archie Ruber, whose family gossip says descended from the witches of Salem. We know that's quite bunk given the history of the town, but for the purposes of this tale, he does have a gift passed down to him in this doom by prediction. Archie himself works as a porter and handyman at an airport, able to find lost luggage with ease, while others find such tasks difficult. He meets a Dr. Anton Gregor, scientist of parapsychology, who wishes to study Archie's uncanny psychic abilities. Over the next several weeks, Dr. Gregor tests Archie again and again, pushing his mental powers, guessing cards, telekinetically moving dice, and it's all a bit stressful for young Archie. Soon, he even develops precognition, the ability to sense things that will happen, like a laboratory explosion next door that he manages to save the scientists from. Soon, Dr. Gregor wants to bring his findings to the Pentagon, but Archie is already worried about his future as a result of this. He tries to warn the doctor away from the plane as a fake prediction, but it soon comes true as the plane develops trouble. He gets the plane to land, but Dr. Gregor dies of heart failure on it. With the power of life and death in his hands, Archie Gruber decides to prophesize that he will lose his powers and is hit by an oncoming bus. Life, death, the past, the future. They're just the things we concern ourselves with every day, both here and in the Twilight Zone.